Hello there guys, welcome back to the Ebike Repairs YouTube channel. My name's Dash and I do super fun and exciting stuff like take apart and fix e-bike, motors, scooters, bars, batteries, all that fun stuff. Anyway, what I've got in today is this. This is an oxygen rear wheel hub motor, and what has happened is the cassette tower has gone bad. So, if you see this here, there's lots of play in that there. And that must be the bearings in it have gone. What I've got here, a brand new side cover with the cassette tower. I might just put the whole side cover on, to be honest, given this, it's almost an identical amount of work. What these are is the Freehub is sort of built into this here, and there is a bearing there, and there is a bearing there. But I think it's something to do with the actual, I don't know if it's these bearings or there's something else going on inside here. Unfortunately, I've never taken them apart, I don't know. But anyway, they've gone bad. So, Oxygen have very kindly sent out a new one of these, so that will go, you know, on there like that. And it's held in with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phillips head machine screws that just go straight into the side of it there. There's a part number if you're interested. So, to undo this, what we've got to do is take off all the motor gubbins. So that would be this, this washer, this one, and then my personal favourite, there is a little nut in here. It's super hard to get off. Now you might be able to get a cassette tool to fit over there with this nut still in place. However, I often have issues with that. It never seems to be, come on, as easy as I want it to be. But thankfully this one's loose, so you might find that you struggle finding a cassette tool to fit, or you've got to sort of get a hammer in there on a screwdriver and just loosen it. They're not normally nipped up too tight, but sometimes you've just got to give them a little bit of a whack to get this nut to begin turning. So let's get that off there. There we go. So there's our main motor cover jobby. So what I like to do with these is when they come off, take them all off in a line like that. I'll put them down straight how I had them so that I remember how they went back on. Now, what we've got to do next is get this cassette off. It's got quite the wobble on, hasn't it? For such a task, we'll need a cassette tool. This one I've reamed out the inside to try and fit over the baffang motors, but they don't quite go. There is that in there. So that's ready to undo, and we'll need a chain whip, like this lovely thing. That turns that way, so I've got to hold the chain that way. Is that right? Got to hold it that way. I think that's right, and then I've got to turn that way. Pretty sure that's right. Oh, blimey, what's going on? Something fits this, not that one. Can't remember what size that is, to be honest. That size, there you go. Right, and then, all being well, this should just undo. However, I might have to do this sort of off camera a little bit because of quite how bloody tight that might be. I may have to get creative with ways to hit this while I'm holding everything else and using a foot and stuff. So I'll cut back once I've got that loose, but basically you undo it by turning this anti-clockwise and you hold the cassette steady with your chain whip. Just to give it a good pull and see what happens. Oh yeah, that's not happening. I think I probably need to lie down and whack that a bit with some kind of whacking device. Okay, I'm back. It wasn't too bad. I put it in the vise and then I was able to undo it. So it should be loosened off now, and there you go. You can undo the lock nut there. Cassette tool can come off, lose it. Chain whip can come off. So there's our locking nut there. There's our cassette assembly there. And then, right, the meat and potatoes of the matter. I've done a number on my hand doing that. I was trying to do it by hand, which is a foolish idea. Yeah, we've got some kind of horrible... Oh yeah. The play was definitely in the tower here. Which, these things do go, you know, it happens. Not much anyone can really do about it apart from, you know, replace it. Oh, it does sound a bit rough, doesn't it? Nice. Well, won't for very long. What you need next is a Torx bit to undo these. They are a... What are they? I'm sure they're... What's this one? T25, I believe that is. Nope, they're not T25. T20. There you go, they are a T20 Torx. I'm going to use my impact driver with the T20 because I'm lazy. T20. There we go. And we've got 6 of those. I think they're, what are they, M3 screws, Torx heads, Loctite on them. I think they're M3. Don't quote me on that, but pretty sure they are. Right, and then we've got to get this side cover off. Now, to get side covers off motors, I have shown it in lots of videos before, but what you want to do is get the, I'm going to hit you, axle nut on the other side lined up flush, and give it 2 gentle taps. There you go. And what that's done, is, oh, this has come off. I've obviously missed that in the stack of washers I've taken off. Get that, put that with the others. What that's done is that's lifted this side cover away slightly from the rest of the motor housing. And today we're going to be replacing the whole side cover, but you can see it's 6 screws, and then that would push out otherwise if you were going to just replace this Freehub body. So you'd undo these screws. This part here would push in that way. I suppose we could do it, couldn't we? We could do it. And then you'd see what it was like. We'd undo 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lose these. 4, 5, and 6 screws, and then the Freehub body will just go out that way, and then you can replace this tired old thing with a new one and just put it back into your existing side cover. Now, don't know where you get one of these for your specific motor. However, this one has a part number on it. Probably the same part number I showed you at the start of the video, but there you go, hopefully. Ah, there you go, hopefully that's in focus. Please be in focus. There you go, you can read that. So, old side cover, old one of these. I'm assuming this thing is rebuildable, however I've got no idea how to take it apart. There'll be Freehub pulls and there must be bearings to hold this. I'll stop it doing that. There must be bearings in there. Maybe I'll do a video on that one day. Anyway, new one. While we're in here, these are our motor hall sensors. The windings all look good, they don't look burned. Looks pretty nice, to be honest. Pretty happy. Don't really see any horrible problems. There's a little bit of corrosion around here, but it's clearly very, very surface related because it comes straight off with your fingernail. Probably just maybe a bit of leftover flux from the factory. It looks perfectly good conditions. Magnets all look intact. None of them are raised from the others. It all looks fine. So I'm just going to pop this back on there. New side cover. Get that lined up with the holes. Get a little whack. Right. And then we're going to use our Torx bit again. What did I do with all the screws? There they are. And we can put these back in. And now, I must confess, if these have a torque value, I don't know it. However, because they're very small screws, they're very easy to strip out. So if you do them up with an impact driver, and you're not used to using an impact driver, you may find that you round them off, snap the head off, something like that. Doing it manually will give you a much better feel for it. I believe you're meant to torque these down in a sort of a star pattern, you know, like you do in on a car wheel, something like that. However, I'm just going to go around and nip these up tight and make sure they all feel very similar torque. Luckily, my hand has a built-in torque wrench, so when I get close, I'll turn the volume on. Let me just, there you go, volume on. Click, click, there you go, see? Torque to spec. That is exactly 18 newton meters. It's 18 newton meters is what I've done that up to. And there you go, there's our Freehub. No horrible play in it. None of that. Right, so with Freehubs you've got these crenellations, whatever you call them. Anyway, I'm looking for the little one with the big gap next to it. And then inside these, I've tried not to move them because they all go out of alignment. I'm looking for the one with the big gap, the big thing and the little gap, which I found. And that's got to go on just like that. There you go, that was easy. And then we've got our locking ring here. It's a bit of a wipe down, it's covered in some gook, some rusty overness. Be fine. Pop that on there. Now, this says to torque it to 40 newton meters. Thankfully, again, my hand has a built-in torque wrench, and to torque this to 40 newton meters, I know exactly where that is because I'm a genius, and that's right there. Don't want to go any tighter than that, otherwise you'll never get it off again next time. Spins nicely, no horrible play in it, all seems happy and dandy. Now, I can put these on the reverse of how we took them off. So there goes that little washer that I originally forgot about. And I'm going to poke it down into place using this because my fingers are too big. Okay. Then we've got this super fun washer here. And then we've got our 3 washers here. So this will sit on the inside facing out, and these will go on the outside when it's reinstalled back onto the bicycle. And you can't forget about our cover here. Right, I've just got to make sure I do this doodad up. I had a flathead screwdriver, I was using it earlier, I lost it. I found it, there you go. I find it's easiest to just, because normally these aren't that old, the threads on them aren't too gummed up, and you can just push it round with that. Nope, I can't. Is it because we're already tight? Is that why? I think we're done up tight. I think that's why. Because to undo it, you can put the screwdriver in there and wind that round. But of course, you can't do it up that way. Just snap my fingernails off doing it this way instead. Why not? That's half the fun, isn't it? I believe that is done up. Yep, that's done up. I'm not crazy. So this one, because I haven't taken off the other side, is going to go, oh, you don't quite clear the camera. So you see how this one is pointing down that way. The little tab is pointing this way. I'm going to make sure that this one's also pointing this way, which it is. That on there. Get that on there, and then there's this ready. Pop that on, don't forget that. Customer won't be happy otherwise. This still spins on and off nice and freely. I've not waxed it too hard. And it's all ready to go. I will get this tested. I'll test it off camera. No one's interested in that. And let them know that it's all finished up. Nice and easy to do. Nothing too crazy. Oh look, a spare side cover. Great. That's going in an important place where I won't lose it. And maybe one day I will strip down one of these Freehubs. It's got to be something to do with this hole and this hole here. I don't know how you do it, because it's got to be bearings in there. It's got to be fixable. Because this bearing here is fine. This bearing here feels fine. It's the play in, you know, whatever part of the tower it is. I don't know. Anyway, if you like this kind of thing, thanks for watching. Please feel free to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. You can become a channel member where you pay 99 cents a month. And I appreciate it a lot and get a shockingly small quantity of that. But it does inspire me to keep making helpful videos like this for you guys. I will catch you next time, and bye bye.